Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting out war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk Start Collecting Umbra Turris, a skirmish war game by Spellcrow Games. Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at the Dwarves of Thargomind, which are the sort of good, or I guess, neutral aligned dwarves within the game system. We're going to take a look at their starter box, which contains 6 really nice dwarf miniatures, and these miniatures include models suitable for both your leader and your mage within your group. Now, in this video, we're also going to look at some other allies we can bring in from some of the other races and talk a little bit about them, and we'll also talk about the Dwarves of Thargomind as well in a little bit, talking about like what they sort of do, what their abilities are, and then we'll take a look at a sample 750 point army list for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Dwarves of Thargomind army. And so, to begin, Dwarves of Thargomind. Now, in this game, all miniatures have the same stat line if they're from the same race. So, Dwarves have a leadership of 5, they will have a movement of 15, which is in centimeters in this game system. Weapon skill 7, strength of 8, speed of 6, a ballistic skill of 7, toughness of 8, a wounds characteristic of 8, and they all cost 62 coins each. Dragon coins is what we use as the expenditure resource in this game. Now, they are alignment, so they've got a couple of different alignments you can take for your Dwarves of Thargomind. This is one of the 2 types of dwarves available in the game. Now, they can be either lawful or neutral, and for the purpose of this video, we're going to look at neutral Dwarves of Thargomind. Now, Dwarves of Thargomind have the knocking out rule, which is pretty cool. This is going to be sort of a big thing for them. But Dwarves of Thargomind stun enemies on a 3+ instead of 5+, and if a Thargomind Dwarf is equipped with a sword or hammer, the opponent can be stunned regardless of having armor on their head. So they're pretty good at, knocking people to the ground and knocking them out, which is awesome. And so, looking at some of the other races we can bring into a neutral faction, and the first of these is the City Orcs. Now, there are 3 different types of orcs in the game. You have City Orcs, which are aligned with lawful, neutral, and anarchists. You can bring Ugruk Hor Orcs, which are aligned to neutral, anarchist, and evil, though, that maybe goes a little bit more evil swinging on your party. And Black Orcs, we can't take in a Dwarves of Thargomind because they are only anarchists or evil. Now, Orcs do have a leadership of 5, movement of 15, weapon skill 6, strength 8, speed 6, ballistic skill 6, toughness 8, and 7 wounds. So they do have a little bit lesser of a stat line than your Dwarves of Thargomind, though they are just a little bit cheaper, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, there are 2 different variations. You can have your City Orcs, where when fighting a City Orc, the defending hero who rolls a 1 or 2 must remove that dice from the combat and its result does not count to the combat. Or if you're using Ugruk Hor Orcs, when charging, Orcs inflict +2 damage, and this is a triggered ability. Now, the cool thing about humans in this game is humans can be from any alignment. Doesn't matter what type of human they are. The people of Morton, Borea, Vatvaria, Astania, or Undor, they all are a race alignment for everyone. So you can always take humans in your faction. Now, humans have a pretty standard stat line with leadership 7, movement 15, weapon skill, strength, speed, ballistic skill, toughness, and wounds, all 7s across the board. Now, depending on what you want to go, you can have the people of Morton. So if a Mortenian is charged and attacked with a normal or power strike, the damage he receives may be lowered by 1. The people of Borea, if a Borean is the party leader, you may reroll 1s when making a leadership test during the initiative phase. Orders issued to Boreans may be rerolled. The people of Vatvaria, if this hero is reduced to 0 wounds and still has an action dice, that hero receives a death counter but can still use his action dice and then after he uses it, he dies. As long as the hero has the death counter, he gains a permanent fear ability. So he can sort of fight before he dies, which is pretty cool. The people of Estania or an Estanian may reroll 1s when making precision strikes. Estanians, however, cannot be paladins, order knights, or black knights. And the people of Undor, they gain +1 strength when charging. Undors may not have heavy armor, cannot be paladin, order knights, or black knights. So these are a little bit of our more barbarians. Now, the Voraks are an interesting race, and one of the more unique races to the setting. Now, Voraks are effectively bird people. Now, they are alignment of neutral and anarchist, which is pretty cool, and they have the backstab ability, where a Vorak who charged an enemy may roll a d6. If a Vorak charges the front of the enemy on a 6+, the enemy cannot parry, and if they charge the side on a 5+, the enemy may not parry the attack, which is pretty cool. Now, Voraks do have an R next to their race, which means they're a rare and restricted race. This means you can have no more than 2 of these heroes in your party. But they do have leadership 5, movement 15, weapon skill 7 is pretty nice with strength 6, speed 8, so they're a little bit faster than some of your other dwarves and humans and orcs we've already talked about. Ballistic skill 8 as well, so they're pretty good archers if they need to be. And then they're also toughness 6 and 7 wounds, so they're that little bit lighter fighter. Now lastly, we have the Half Giants, who as well are a rare race within the game, so once again you can only have 2 of the Half Giants. But Half Giants do have leadership 7 with movement of 10, their weapon skill 6, speed 9, and their strength 9 and speed 6, ballistic skill 5, toughness 9 and 9 wounds. So they're a really solid fighter, though they are 90 dragon coins, so they're a decent, a bit more expensive than most of the other fighters that are going to be in your party. Now, their race alignment is good, lawful, and neutral, and their ability is Tough Hide, where critical strikes against Half Giants are inflicted only on the roll of a 6. And so here we have our sample 750 Dragon Coin force for the Dwarves of Thargomind. Now, as I said, we're going with the alignment of neutral for the faction, and one of the Dwarves is going to be our leader. Now, his profession is going to be Knight of the Order. Now, you can only choose this faction if you are from the neutral alignment, so you can only be a Knight of the Order if you're neutral. Again, Fearless, Heroism, Fury, and Brotherhood, and he gets the Monastic Devotion, where if a Knight of the Order inflicts any damage to an enemy with an action dice, the enemy is dealt 2 additional damage. If the enemy had an action dice and he was inflicted more than 1 damage, roll a d6, and on a 2+, the enemy loses the action dice. The knight makes all armor tests with a +1 bonus. Now, no party would be complete with taking a priest or mage in their party, and they get the Holy Crusade ability, where a priest is a mage, but has access to any equipment and 1 domain of magic. If a paladin is in the party with a priest, the priest gains the Fury ability, which is pretty cool. So this is really nice. This means we're going to get, some extra magic, but we're also going to have the ability to take the other equipment as well. Now, you get to choose between a couple of different domains of magic, which are really fun. You've got the domain of Shadow, Air, Earth, Fire, Death, along with the domains of Spirit, Water, Light, Mind, Nature, and Change. There's a bunch of different spells you can pick from these, and this is something you're going to have to decide when building your faction on how you want to put together your force. The next dwarf we're going to take is going to be a gunsmith. Now, the gunsmith here has his ability of gunsmithing. Any firearm with the faulty special rule possessed by a hero in the party will wound the owner on a 6+ instead of a 4+. In addition, when making a ranged attack with a gunsmith, may move up to his speed in centimeters, and when firing a firearm, a gunsmith gains a +1 to all hit rolls. Now, he's going to have the big gun there, and he's got a chain shirt and a horn there for some extra abilities. Lastly, we have a dwarf that's going to be a bounty hunter, and 2 more dwarves that are going to be soldiers. They've got a mix of different equipment. We've got 2 swords and light shields, chain shirts and leather gloves, so exactly the same on the 2 dwarf soldiers here. And the cool thing about soldiers is a soldier will make all armor tests with a +1 bonus, and if there is a Knight of the Order within 15 centimeter, the soldier will gain the Fearless ability, and, well, we have a Knight of the Order here. Lastly, we have the Bounty Hunter. When fighting an enemy leader or mage, a Bounty Hunter gains a +2 bonus to any roll. If the Bounty Hunter reduces the enemy leader or mage to 0 wounds, the party gains 1 triumph point as long as the hunter is alive. So an excellent way to have a model that potentially can go tackle your opponent's leader, but also gain you some extra points within the game. This is a fun little bonus sort of party here. You can definitely take out some of these models here and put in, something like a Vorak or something like that. But it is worth remembering when you take your party that if your party is from the same alignment, you're going to get some additional bonuses. And that bonus is the Bound by Blood bonus, where the party gains this ability if all heroes belong to the same race within the party. If a leader issues an order to a hero within 10 centimeter and that order succeeds on a 3+. If you roll a 6 when issuing orders, the order is free and does not reduce the remaining orders you can do for the game. On top of this, by being a neutral party, we are going to get the Battle Inspiration, where the party gains a number of inspiration dice equal to the leader's leadership divided in half rounded up. The player may use his inspiration dice when an attack is made by the player's hero is parried by the enemy. Roll a d6 on a 3+, the hero regains an action dice. The player may also use an inspiration dice when a hero in the party did not hit the enemy, and that player may use the inspiration dice to try and parry once again. The hero may only use one inspiration dice per cycle. If a hero has reduced an enemy to 0 wounds, the party gets an additional inspiration dice. So you got the ability to sort of swing again or parry again with your inspiration dice, and you also gain more of them if you start taking out the enemy. Hope this has been helpful for getting you started with the Dwarves of Thargomind, one of the neutral or sort of middling sort of races for the game Umbra Turris. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here, we have a Discord server for Sinful Gaming, which you'll find linked down in the video's description. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so either by supporting us on Patreon or YouTube members, both of which are linked down in the video's description, or grab some merch from our Teespring or Ko-fi stores for yourself as well. All of these are the best ways to help support the channel. As a special thank you to everyone who does help support the channel in such a way, we'd like to give a shout out to all our Patreons and YouTube members. So, thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Kevin Bowman, Iron Grinch. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Osworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, David Crozier, and Dylan Areno. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and a special thanks to all the mods that help with our Discord server and all the people that come on the regular to help with everything on the YouTube channel. Thank you all once again for watching. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.